Thank you for staying with us on Prime Morning. It's another beautiful day. It is wet out there, but there's a lot to digest. And this morning, we have a guest who's going to be joining us talk about coral reefs and more. I know in Ghana, a lot of people wouldn't even know the situation when it comes to coral reefs and beyond, but we're going to be getting into that discussion. And it's all about the Coral Reef Innovation Hub and Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences partnering to enhance education. We're glad to have in our midst this morning Richard Enim. He is CEO of Coral Reef. What are they about? We're going to be finding out shortly. Mr. Enim, a very good morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thanks for joining the conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Now, this whole bit about this initiative, Coral Reef.
Yes.
Let's start from there. Tell us a bit about it.
So the coral reef is a concept. I mean, you talk about coral reefs in the sea. It's usually a space of light, beauty, collaboration. Species thrive in those spaces. So our whole coral reef is a coral reef for innovation and ideas, bringing people together to work together to innovate, creativity, problem solving, and so on.
Okay, so just as we know those coral reefs in the sea actually ensure that life goes on, your organization also has come out with this initiative. And you're partnering the Academy of Science, to put this out there. I would like to find out, this initiative, when did it start?
We've been going for about 3 years. We just partnered with the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences just about 2-3 months ago. And it's a fantastic initiative for us based on the fact that Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences is like a fountain of all wisdom and content.
Interesting how you put it.
Yes. I mean, you've got professors that are the prime of their careers that have seen it. I mean, you've got some of the most exciting nuclear scientists, physicists, and so on. So in our partnership with them, we're looking at how we can come together and develop primarily content, fit for purpose content for education, primary, secondary, tertiary, in all sorts, in terms of digital skills, artificial intelligence, creativity, problem solving, and all sorts of innovation. So it's an exciting partnership for us when we look at how education is going. We're calling this Education 4.0 to align with the fourth industrial revolution and how things are changing globally. In our part, yes, we've made a bit of a start, but in some parts, we're not even at the starting blocks.
Right.
And this initiative is to begin the conversation about 2 or 3 key things. Devices for education. The teachers are the core of education and the students. So how do we deal with this tripod in the Education 4.0 that we are all, whether we like it or not, will be dragged kicking and screaming into the fourth industrial revolution? Is about how we start and begin conversations about how we support students right from primary all the way to the university. So that's what this partnership is about.
Is STEM an integral part of what you do?
Absolutely. So STEM, we're looking at coding, we're looking at robotics. It's interesting to know, if you've been following the news, that some of our students in our SHS have actually gone globally to win some global competitions.
We had some of them here yesterday. I don't know whether
I wasn't following, but it's like, is this serendipity or whatever you want to call it? We're talking about this because obviously yesterday was the Girl Child.
International Day of the Girl Child.
Yes, and one of the things I've been thinking about, or our team has been thinking about, is I was in Virginia visiting my brother and his 2-year-old daughter at 2 years, holding a feeding bottle, dressed in a Pampers, was playing around with a digital device at 2 years. Now my mind goes to Nyame somewhere in the eastern region, a 2-year-old there walking around back naked.
Side by side.
I mean, how do we progress that kind of conversation in those kinds of spaces, in rural areas where you just don't have the technology, the resources, and so on? How do we begin to start making a dent in those types of areas? And that's what this partnership is also about, to support especially public schools to benefit from some of these technologies that's not widely available.
Okay, so you're partnering the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences. What is going to be the aspiration? What is the end game? In the end, what are you going to hope to see in this period of partnership? What are the results you hope to see in these institutions and beyond?
Okay, so from a global vision, from our standpoint, this statement has become a cliche, like no child left behind.
Yep.
As many children as possible, children, students, pupils, whatever you want to call them.
But everywhere, especially in our part of the world, we're seeing a lot of them getting left behind.
Yes, so how do we partner with the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences and also other corporate partnerships? We're working with One Laptop a Child project.
Okay. How's that going?
It's a new relationship. So I mean, we're going to be introducing Chromebooks and sorts of devices. Yes. We're working with the Digital Skills Foundation out of France, backed by the French government, to actually focus on training teachers. Now, if you want kids to get to a certain level or students to get to a certain level, then you need to empower the teachers that drive that. What sort of teacher do you want to see in 2025, 2030? Will they have the digital skills to be? What sort of curriculum are teachers being taken through in training colleges now? Those are some of the conversations that we are looking to start. Because if you want a kid to know artificial intelligence and machine learning, digital marketing, design thinking, UX, all these sorts of things, whoever is supposed to be driving that has to be a well-equipped and fit-for-purpose teacher. And those are some of the conversations we are looking to start with the Academy of Arts and Sciences.
So very interesting developments, but who are your target groups? You speak of children, but of course there would be a core target group. From what level to what level? I'm sure those listening would be thinking of who exactly your target groups are.
I mean, so for any of these projects, there's always a beginner stage, an intermediate stage, and then also an advanced stage. So right from, I would want to be talking about AI 101 with a primary school person. The content exists. It's animated. It's in.
So from like primary one?
From primary one, even kindergarten. I've just given an example of a 2-year-old, what do you call it, playing around with a device, talking about the solar system and Mars and all those kinds of things. The content exists. How do we generate content specific to our context as well? Yes, there are global examples, but for somebody describing, for instance, a bottle of wine and talking about blackcurrant and all sorts of earthy flavors and so on and so forth, in a particular context, if you bring it to our context and the person doesn't know what blackcurrant is, where do we go down? So we need to develop content that is fit for our purpose, but also what they call global, but with a local nuance as well.
Local. That's interesting. Global with local nuances. So let's talk about your event proper. Who are going to be some of the keynote speakers? Who are those who are going to be featuring? And what should we all look forward to?
So I obviously will be speaking, opening remarks, and talking about my view and my vision for Education 4.0. Professor Kwache, one of the top female scientists in the country, will be speaking as well. We've got a global technology skills initiative will be talking. Bridging Paths from the UK. One of the interesting things about Bridging Paths is that they can develop infrastructure that kits out a smart lab within a week. Just give them the foundation within a week.
Right.
Just give them the foundation. They can put up the infrastructure and devices and content and everything within a week. I mean, there's a video that shows day 1, day 2, day 3, all the way to day 7. They'll be speaking as well. And then we have what we call a hackathon, but this is a policy hackathon.
Right.
There's a policy hackathon. You know, hackathons are usually tech people coming together to do, but for us, we're looking at education technology policy. What are the challenges? What are the weaknesses? What sort of solutions can we start thinking about? We're looking at partnering with foundations, with education stakeholders, corporate social responsibilities of corporates that have the budgets, technology companies. Our stakeholders are varied and many globally. So a lot of them will participate in this event.
So all of them coming down and of course having
virtually as well. But I mean, we have We have the fellows from the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences, our team, and then other teams from different places.
And the key date to take stock of October the 13th.
October the 13th, that's tomorrow. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So all roads lead virtually to that event being put together by Coral Reef in association with the Ghana Academy for Arts and Sciences.
Because of COVID-19 protocols, there's room for, I think we invited about 60
a few people coming
yes,
through. Yeah,
coming through. There's still some space for what you call it. If you want to come, please register online at our website.
Quickly walk us through that process.
So we have our website, www.coralreefgh.com. If you put a note there, you'll be registered. If you don't register, sorry, you won't get some of the jollof.
So people can still do it today?
Today, yes.
And get in tomorrow.
And get in tomorrow, yes.
Richard Comey is CEO Richard Enim, I beg your pardon, is actually CEO of Coral Reef, and he joined us for a conversation there. We can only wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
Now, coming up next, we have Beyond the Headlines right here on Prime Morning, after which, do stay, we're going to be talking about menstrual issues as far as the girl child in Ghana is concerned. Do stay.